You might know this 2013 indie film in which Irfan Khan and Nimrat Kaur were in it. This film is called The Lunchbox. So, in this episode, I have invited a very special guest. Her name is Suhani Sharma. So, Suhani is an independent film blogger and she is coming back to my channel to discuss this great film, and she'll be discussing her interpretation of this beautiful film. So this film is currently streaming on Netflix. So do check it out and watch this spoiler-filled discussion over here. Hi Suhani, welcome back to my podcast, which is Spoiler Alert with me, Cinephile Sanket. So Suhani, this time we are discussing a Hindi film, which is a 2013 film, which is called The Lunchbox, which is written and directed and produced by Ritesh Batra, which stars the great Irfan Khan, Nimrat Kaur, and Nawazuddin Siddiqui. So, first of all, welcome, and like first of all, just introduce this film for me.
Hi, Sanket. It's a pleasure being here, and thank you for having me. And yeah, so I remember Lunchbox for being a magical love story. I'll call it magical because the chance meeting happens between the two leads, Ila and Sajan, because the very famous, worldwide famous Dabba wala system, who are claimed to have not ever, messed up with their delivery and their routine, but this time they do mess up and they exchange the tiffins on the to the wrong people, and that's how they get to meet. So I call it a magical love story. It's a story of love between two incomplete lonely people, and how love finds way to their heart, to their homes, to their office, to their kitchen, and it changes everything.
Oh, okay. So now tell me, when did you watch this film for the first time? I feel that you might have watched this film in theaters and just when it released, but I don't know. Just tell me, like what did you experience when you initially watched this film, and like what did you experience just when you rewatched this film for recording this podcast?
Okay. So, yeah, you're very much right. I watched this film back in 2013 when it was released in theaters, because there was much hype about it. As usual, it was being produced by Anurag Kashyap and Karan Johar, and these were the two famous names associated with the film. And there was also a controversy involved, that Anurag Kashyap was very upset that Lunchbox was not sent to the Oscars, and instead The Good Road, starring Sonali Kulkarni, if I remember, was sent. And Ship of Thesis had also come along the same time. So there was this whole controversy around it. And so whenever a critically acclaimed film gets released, they always get the publicity through word of mouth. So there was very great reviews about the film on the internet arena or spectrum, I must say. So there I got to know, and I could luckily watch it in theaters. And I couldn't take off the movie from my mind for the longest of time after the film was over. It was very emotional. It was very touching, and very moving. And I will say it was also uh, kind of bittersweet. It was also heartbreaking, because to see such characters on screen, you always want them to end up happy and together. But the film is famously known for its abstract ending. So you take the feeling of that film, you carry it to your home and to your life after the film ends. And when I rewatched it, I could notice that how brilliantly simple the storytelling is. I don't remember Lunchbox for its very smart camera angles, or the wide shot or the close up, or very impeccable background music. I remember it for its subtlety, for its silences, for that deadly gaze of Irfan Khan's character, Sachin Fernandez, and the extraordinary performances of the three leads, I would say. So I remember Lunchbox, and that was my experience while rewatching it.
But you know what? Actually, you're correct. So at the end, as a viewer, as an audience in general, we remember the little moments which happens in the film. So this, I don't know, it happens to like anyone else, but it happens to me, and now I got to know that it happens to you as well. So I watch a film and like I just forget like stuff about it, but then when I revisit it, and like I revisited in my mind, and I don't remember those camera angles or those lightings or those how the cinematographer set the frame, or how the director directed or just say made the film, like shot the film. I
Yeah,
just
you carry the
remembered.
emotions of the story. You carry the
Exactly.
emotions of the movie. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So I just remembered, like I watched this film, I don't know, way back in 2016, 17 or 18, I don't know when I watched this, but I just remembered that because some of my friends actually watched this film. Some of my friends, as in those non cinephile friends, those people who are like just not into those like
Yeah,
into films. It's like people who
who are
are
not into intellectualizing movies. They
exactly
purely watch it as, you know, as audience, as
as
layman
an
audience.
entertainment piece. Like,
They,
yeah,
yeah, they enjoy it. Yeah, they are better
exactly.
than us, I must say.
Absolutely. So those, like I heard this film, like I heard them talk about this film, and I was shocked because this was a very indie film. I heard about it from someone else as well. So I watched this film, and then later I got shocked by like hearing from those people that they have actually watched an indie film, like but I guess like it stars in Irfan Khan and in Nimrat Kaur, and that's the I think that's the main reason they might have watched this film. And absolutely, like I just loved the chemistry between Irfan and Nawaz bin like Nawaz. I don't know why they haven't like shared screen after this film. I don't know why, but like I just loved them. And like first of all, when I rewatched this film just yesterday to record for this podcast, I just got to know that I don't think, I don't know, this is just my interpretation of this film. So like this is silly because so the opening, the first shot of this film is about the Mumbai local trains. And Mumbai local trains is the lifeline of the city of Mumbai. And this is also the lifeline of the film as well, because the dabbawalas travel to Mumbai travel through the Mumbai local. And so and obviously the dabbawalas, the dabbas, the lunchbox itself is the main theme of the film. So I think the opening shot is like a main relation to the film. So I don't know, like I can be wrong as well, but
No,
like
you're right, Sanket, because I'll just tell you that I primarily perceive Lunchbox as a city as a story of Mumbai. It's a story of, you know, how the so-called Mahanagars, the metropolitan cities, how they consciously, unconsciously breed urban loneliness, and how, in spite of all the hustle bustle around the city and how crowded the local trains are, how lonely, how the individuals, you know, in the city can be. And both Sajan and Ella, and in fact Sheikh, they all are lonely people in their lives. So I see it as a story of Mumbai. You're right.
but
And therefore establishing the first establishing shot of local trains is, yeah, it plays an important role.
yeah, absolutely. So I don't know, Ritesh Badra is watching like somehow in the future, maybe I'm hoping that Ritesh Batra is watching this podcast, and he'll be pointing out that if I'm correct or not, like I don't know, but still I actually also like this film for the realistic portrayal of the characters. Like Sajan, Irfan Khan plays a Catholic man, and like I don't know, but this is a very like his character, his role. He portrayed very realistically. I feel, because I like
You don't get to see Irfan in it. It's all Sajan. You don't
exactly.
get to. He doesn't let us get a hint that it is Irfan Khan playing. It is one of the greatest performances of our films, our cinema.
Absolutely right, absolutely right, because like my neighbor is a Catholic and he is in his 60s, and like I interact with him like many times. So he speaks some Hindi, speaks some English, and he speaks in the mixture of both languages. And and actually Irfan Khan, the character Sajan, also spoke in the same manner. So like I don't know how
Very
Ritesh Batra.
Bandra-esque accent. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly, and he said the character like Sajan, he lived in Bandra, and like he also talked with the kids in English. So so how did Ritesh Batra just manage to capture this little moments in this film? I'm so so I'm not like I wouldn't say shocked, but like I'm say surprised, and like I'm just like out of words of how Ritesh Batra just researched for this film, and even the honest portrayal of a housewife. Also, you talked about loneliness. I also felt that it's this film is also about loneliness, because like I rewatched this film yesterday, so I this film is still fresh in my memory, and I would here talk about the camera angles, because every like I think, yeah, uh, in the initial phases when he gets the lunchbox from the dabba walas, like no one is sitting besides him or like opposite to him in when he's having the lunch. But just when he is like about like when he receives the letters, Nawaz, or like yeah, only Nawaz sits with like opposite to him. So this like yeah, he kinds of, I don't know, like I'm like I may be wrong, or I'm like maybe mispronouncing it, but yeah, so this kind of happens when like he gets the letters and he gets the companion in the not so I don't know, like uh yeah, not so like I don't know, some he gets the companion. But yeah, I actually like this film for the honest on how honestly Ritesh Batra and his cinematographer shot the city of Mumbai. And I also before I talked about the trains as well. I just read somewhere that this film was a shot. Yeah, like the initial moments, the initial shots of the train sequence were actually like uh, were authorizedly like without permission they shot. I think I may be wrong,
Oh,
obviously,
what
but
I got to know was, and I had read somewhere because I was into reading about films. So I read that probably Ritesh Batra he intended to make a documentary on the Dabbawalas. And from there, he just weaved this magical love story, I recall, a story of chance meetings and chance happenings, and one in a million case, one in a million probability of two people meeting each other through dabbawalas messing with their job. And I would just like to say that when we talk about loneliness, I would say that how amazingly Ritesh Batra portrays the loneliness when it comes to Ella. We only see her either cooking for her husband or then waiting for her husband. And at night when he comes to her home, his home, she is probably longing for her attention, for that, for that intimate touch, for just him looking at her at once, and while talking, or looking at her instead of the television while having dinner, and all she craves is for one look from her husband, and or an attention. And throughout the two jobs, like in the beginning, the preparation of lunchbox, and to the night, we don't see what actually Ila does in between. Her life is all limited in that routine, making lunch for her husband and then craving for his attention. You know? So that's how he
कल
portrays the
खाली डब्बा
loneliness.
भेजने के
And
लिए
when it
आपका
comes
शुक्रिया।
to
आज
Sajan,
भेज रही
we
हूँ
get to
कली
see that
मेरे हस्बैंड का फेवरेट
Sajan is how
पीला।
secluded he is, even in his office or in his train route. Or Irfan Khan does it so brilliantly when he simply is smoking a cigarette, and he's looking at the happy families in his neighborhood through their windows, and he's so lonely. And director somehow makes he evokes the feeling of sympathy towards Ella. You really feel bad for her, for the kind of dead marriage she is in. But Irfan's loneliness, it just breaks your heart. The way Irfan looks, he looks at the neighbor's family, it just, I think his gaze just pierces through your heart, and it completely shatters you. So that's how a brilliant job a filmmaker has done in portraying the loneliness.
But I think this is very consistent in Ritesh's work as well, like not just in the Lunchbox, but his following films as well. Like
Photograph, yeah. Yeah.
I haven't watched The Sense of an Ending, but I have watched Our Souls at Night and Photograph.
Yeah.
And like obviously like both, like all those films aren't very similar to this film. Like in the other films, the lead actors, the lead pair actually shares screen time together. But what happens was, I think someone or the other actually in all those films suffers some kind of loneliness, this lonely feeling. And I think this is very relevant to Photograph, because
Yeah,
in
yeah, it
like
was.
as much as I remember that film, I don't know, I have watched that film way back in 2018, I think, when it got released. And Sanya Malhotra's character was pretty lonely, and like just
Yeah,
after
yeah.
meeting Nawaz's character, she like felt someone has come to my life. And also this kind of also like he paid tribute to his own film Lunchbox, like in Photograph. So that was a very cinematic his constant theme he played out in both of his films.
Yeah,
So
I have watched only the Lunchbox and Photograph, and I'll say that his characters are, it's like they are lonely in the crowd. They are very much in the crowd, but they are not there.
but so like that, I think that's the beauty of his films, I feel, because he captures his own city so well, like not just in Lunchbox, but also
Yeah,
in a Photograph as well. Like he captures
yeah,
the city from the eye of a photographer. So like
yeah.
how like
And these people are so much connected to the daily, to the, they're so special. They're so specially connected to Mumbai, I'll say. You'll find dabbawalas only in Mumbai, and even the photographer who click our photographs in all the landmarks of the city. Somehow he picks the rare occupations for his lead characters. Yeah.
Exactly. And even I actually wanted to point it out, he Ritesh Batra giving tribute to the city as well. So how I would say he actually he actually played Bollywood songs in the background, and like that played so well, because I thought he like this is my interpretation, that he like portrayed the city and the city is like Bombay, and Bombay is famous for Bollywood, and Bollywood is famous for songs. So he played Bollywood songs in different moods and different times. So that was so lovely. Like after this film, I actually got to know that Sajan song. So I I actually
Oh,
told to someone, oh, this is from the film Lunchbox. Then actually I told this to my sister, and like my sister told me that no, this is from the film Sajan. And okay, you may be right, but like I just listened to that song from Lunchbox. So how uh,
maybe somehow he's trying to, preserve the old music and the old world charm, because I remember, so the character of that auntie from Lunchbox who still has the cassette player, and Ila asks her to, play songs from Sajan, and tells that she hasn't even seen what CD player or DVD player is. So how she's still stuck, very happily stuck to the old world. And in photograph too, I think Nawazuddin's character takes Saina to that old Coca-Cola factory or
Campa
something.
Cola, I think.
Yeah, Campa Cola, yeah. So maybe his way of preserving the
And
oldness of
even
the city.
you talked about, like, I was just about to talk about this thing. So uh he actually, like, not just he mentions, like the auntie actually mentions things she loves, like the old things she loves,
Yeah.
that is cassettes.
Hmm.
Like this film also like paid tribute to the old fashioned style of like making love, like just to letters, and like
True
uh,
late.
exactly. And like many other themes actually they covered, like Ritesh Batra covered through, I just said, letters and cassettes and songs actually, like and not just the contemporary songs, but the old songs, old love songs. So like such a beautiful thing to just portray it. Like
Yeah,
I
and
was
what
just
you said, Sanket, it's so good. It also reminds me that how old school Sergeant Fernandez is, because when she says ki मेरे husband, I think her husband doesn't appreciate her food or something, or she says that he is having an affair. So Sergeant Fernandez gives a very oldly advice, like have another child and it will sort out everything. And it's just old age thinking. It is the way our parents think. It is the way they force us into getting married and then getting children and then getting another children to sort out our lives. So how old worldly is Sergeant Fernandez too, and there is a difference between them, which comes out through the way they think and the dialogues.
absolutely, absolutely. Like I also wanted to point out that when I was watching this film recently, just recently, in just yesterday, this came to me as a shock, because just when he started, just when Sajan started to read Ila's letter, I think just he was about to complete just one sentence, and I think in the middle of the sentence, Nawaz's character just comes, and he feels the shock. And to be honest, I actually felt the shock as well, like in the just the latest thing. So to be honest, I watched this film just when Irfan died, and like I just wanted to pay tribute to him, and like I recommended two of his films on my channel, like just when my YouTube channel was just like 1 month old. I recommended his two films, and I didn't feel that this thing that time. I don't know, but I just felt the shocking moment in this viewing. But like, did you feel any like shocking moment this time?
Shocking moment. I do not really remember any shocking moment. But I'll say what I observed was that how consciously aware Sachin's character was every time the Tiffin used to come, because before opening the note, he used to give a look around the whole room, whether he's alone or not. He just values his privacy, and he's so habitual of being alone. He is just, what, want that loneliness, I'll say. And even Irfan Khan did the same while playing the character.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's so much underappreciated, like his role in this film. I don't know, this was the buzz of the town. Like you said, this was a very trending film,
Yeah.
and like I don't know why his role wasn't like being recognized by the Western award ceremonies,
No, no,
since
it
it
was recognized. It was very appreciated. But you know how the award
no,
functions
as in
work here.
recognized, as in like like getting a nomination for Irfan, but like I don't know why, but
Yeah, it
still
wasn't
it's
sent. Yeah, it wasn't sent through our part only. No, it should have been sent to Oscars.
no, no. So what you're like, what I am seeing is Irfan can get a nomination like an independent. So how
Okay, okay,
an international film can also be sent as an independent entry, and it can also
yeah.
be it can get nominated for best picture or best some other categories as well, but not the foreign film. So that happens. But like I don't know, maybe his like performance, I don't know why his performance didn't get any recognition or nomination in the Western awards, but it's okay. Like Irfan is
Yeah,
still great.
it is one of the greatest performances. Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah, it's still, he's still great. Like without all
Hmm.
those nomination as well. But still, like he I just loved his performance. But uh, I wanted to ask you, like, what was your favorite scene of the film, like, or what was your favorite dialogue in the film?
So I like the dialogue between Nawaz and Irfan. He says ki meri mummy kaha ka. My mother used to say that sometimes wrong trains take you to the, to the correct station, to the right junction.
That's
And
the
then he
same.
says, your
That's the
mother,
favorite
but
scene.
you're often. Yeah,
That's the favorite scene of mine as well.
yeah, yeah. So my favorite scene would be Sanket, when Ila is sitting waiting for Sergeant Fernandez at that cooler cafe. And when we get to see the scene from Irfan's angle, and we see that how Irfan is sitting all by himself, and how he's simply looking at Ila. He doesn't have courage to go to Ila, because he gets to know that someone has called him an uncle in the train, and he has observed that, probably he's growing old, and Ella is sitting on in all her beauty. She's young, she's beautiful, and that look of Irfan, I think it is also, he has almost played it like, that look of hesitation which he has while seeing Tabu for the first time in Namesake, when he goes with the marriage proposal along with his family to see Tabu. He's just stealing glances. He don't have courage. He doesn't have courage to directly look in her eyes. He's just stealing glances and, looking her somehow. That's what he does here, and that look is, I can't take it off my mind. That would be my favorite scene.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay. I like my favorite scene was when they were just traveling in the train and just having now like Nawaz inviting him for dinner and pasandi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
There
was
are
the
many
dish.
beautiful scenes. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
There are many
And
good ones.
the funny thing was the boss in the film, he scolds Irfan, like why is there so many vegetables in this film in the
I mean, we
files.
would appreciate Navazo then too, because he has played it so wonderfully. That Gregor is sociable character. So both Ella and Sheikh come to Sajjan's life uninvited, and Ella is still trying to make her presence, but Nawaz's Sheikh, right? Sheikh, he just enters his life without permission. He deliberately disturbs him. Kaise hai Sarah? That thing. He keeps on interfering in his life without any permission. He doesn't need permission. So that's even his entry in uh, Irfan's sergeant's life is quite miraculous as Ela's. So we got to appreciate Nawaz did it wonderfully, wonderfully.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But last thing I wanted to point out that this is probably one of my favorite movies about food, because I love films about food. I rarely get to see it. Like I have watched films like Still Walking, and that is also one of my favorite films about food. And this also is like, this reminds me about like the food we actually have. Like I live in
It's a simple
Mumbai.
homemade food. Yeah. The
Exactly.
only luxury, the only good or special food is paneer, which happens in most of the middle class Indian families. Yeah, it's simple home cooked food. Yeah,
So
lovely.
this, like you just mentioned that like these type of recipes actually gets made in the regular middle class, like
Mm.
middle class families only. And this is also a very like a straight way to say that this is a story just about a middle class person, a middle, yeah, both middle class person. So like how greatly Ritesh Batra just said a story through food actually. And also like people, I don't think at that time dabbawalas just protested that okay, this we like couldn't make a mistake or all those stuff. I don't think
Yeah,
they protested it like they have work, that's the reason. But like I just like appreciate the decency of the dabbawalas, that like they didn't create any fuss about it. Like it's just a sweet normal love story, and this kind of mistakes happens like and this just a fictional story. So like that's actually the beauty of them as well, the dabbawalas, unlike uh, the recent times actually, where everyone actually gets to like gets
taking
offended.
an offense. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly, and taken offense. And like I think like I don't know why they like just people just get offended, like the dabbawlas actually didn't get offended, and they didn't create any fuss. So actually people
yeah,
should actually learn from that.
yeah. Maybe they should.
Exactly. But finally, Suhani, thank you so much. I have to conclude this conversation. I know you have so
Okay,
much.
you told your favorite scene was the scene between Nawaz and Irfan, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite
Okay.
scene was when they like talked about that कभी कभी सही ट्रेन भी गलत ट्रेन
Yeah,
भी सही
yeah.
जगह
That
पहुंचा
whole
देती है.
sequence. Yeah. Mhm.
Exactly. So that was my favorite scene.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, Sanket.
Yeah, thank you so much actually for like coming back to my podcast. It's like I just love talking to you about films. Like it's such like I also I'm looking forward to like have you some other time as well.
Thank you.
Like please do come.
Same here. Same here. I really liked the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.